Ladies and gentlemen, the real comparison is here. Stage 45, World Boss Ultimate, Proxima Midnight. We've got Mr. Fantastic versus Captain America versus Wolverine, all Tier 3. Now for Captain America, we're only going to roll with one striker for the heal. We're also going to do the same thing for Mr. Fantastic. We went down to a stage 45 because it's going to be easier, so it's more of just a strictly DPS check rather than a survival test. I don't want to be here fighting for 5 minutes. You'll get a pretty good indication of how good these two characters are just based off this stage 45, and this is the first stage where there's no reduction. It's basically one of the highest stages that I can do for my raid level, so it should go pretty smoothly. Now, we're going to use the same team up. We're going to use, oh, I'm way early on this one. We're going to use the same team up. It's going to be, that was not bad actually, could have been better. We're going to use the same team up. It's Nick Fury and Wasp. Now, there is a bit of an advantage that Nick Fury gives to Captain America because they have an extra team up. There's basically no way that I can avoid that. The reason why I'm using Nick Fury is because of the super armor. The super armor is going to make it so that I don't get guard broken, and the guard break is actually really important because otherwise you can get interrupted, and that's especially true for Captain America, but it's also true for Mr. Fantastic. I've been kind of off with the procs a little bit with the tier 3 procs, but that's just part of the RNG of Captain America. It's almost impossible to dodge, but the damage is pretty good, and we're charging up those skills pretty well. We should get a really nice tier 3 skill here if we don't get that's pretty nice. That was pretty good. I expected a little bit more, to be honest, but it was pretty close. Wow. Where's Wasp's debuff? What the hell? Captain America also no defense down on the 3rd skill or the 6th skill, so he doesn't get those additional points of damage. Where's the debuff removal? And we're just seeing how fast we can get down to 5 bars. 5 bars is the kind of oh, I'm gonna be in trouble here. I think we just did it. I think we just got down to 5 bars. So 3 minutes and 3 minutes and 10 seconds is the time for Captain America to get down to 5 bars. Probably could have done it a little bit faster, but we're not scientists over here, okay? This is not the Marvel Future Fight, you know, Neil deGrasse Tyson, Bill Nye the Science Guy fucking web page. All right, we're doing an average. We're just doing a test, okay? And basically, anyone at this point, anyone who complains about the authenticity or the accuracy of these tests, you can just suck my balls. Basically, you should tier 3 these characters yourself and test it out for yourself. Honestly, I think if people complain about the accuracy of these tests, they probably just don't want to accept the results of the test. I think that's really the problem. I can't control the procs. I can't make the procs 100% accurate. I can't control Proxima and make sure that she stays exactly still 100% of the time. So yeah, there's going to be variance. There's going to be changes. It's just like the weather. There's no way of perfecting it. However, there's no denying the insane power of characters like Mr. Fantastic, and looking at the amount of damage that he outputs on some of these tier 3 abilities, and even some of his regular procs. The damage is really nice, and it's a lot more consistent than Captain America's. I think you guys already knew that from the GBR test, but we're just doing it one more time here to really cement it in. Also, I want to showcase a little bit of kind of a PvP build for Wolverine, because I've already unequipped his CTP of Rage, and so he won't be putting together the kind of score that you expect from an offensively built Wolverine, but he can still do pretty well. Especially for me, I have a very high raid level, so it's not an issue to still put up some pretty decent numbers with no reduction. He still does quite well. I think we're going to get it here with this next proc. So, yep, there we go. We nailed it. She went to the last phase, and this is the checkoff here. 349. So he was a full 39 seconds ahead of Captain America, almost 40 seconds ahead. Captain America could have been maybe 20 seconds faster if he had hit his procs properly and if he had been closer to her during the charge up, but that's part of the RNG of Captain America. But there's no question in my mind that Mr. Fantastic out DPS's Captain America in almost every situation. I think, like, again, the perfect Captain America could possibly keep up with Mr. Fantastic or get pretty close. but when are you going to get the perfect Captain America? I don't know. You'd have to be super hard pressed. So if you want, if you want kind of, here's I think the best way of explaining the three. So we do have the CTP of regen on Wolverine. Just one more time to make it clear, this is not a PvE Wolverine. You're going to see a much slower clear for the most part. We do have, oh, I'm on the wrong character. We do have a CTP of regen. But what I wanted to say was, I think if you want full offense, you should definitely go for Mr. Fantastic. If you want your combat type to be, guns, go for Mr. Fantastic. If you want a mixture of offense and defense, then you can consider Captain America or Wolverine. Now, I think Captain America has slightly more offense than Wolverine, but I think Wolverine has a lot more PvP potential than Captain America does. I mean, we have yet to see what Endgame is going to bring, so obviously Cap could get another uniform, but it's unlikely. And if you're, if you really just want to do it, you're not going to wait for Endgame for that to happen. You're going to do it before then, and you're going to, want to play with the character. You don't want to sit back waiting, holding your resources for something that might never happen. You want to actually do stuff in the game so you can have fun with the game and enjoy your characters. This actually might not even happen. This is actually really slow. I think I underestimated how much help he gets from the strikers with the all defense down from Deadpool and from this is very slow. Yeah, he might not even be able to clear this. Now, for reference, because I knew it was going to come up, my Wolverine was just barely able to do stage 55 of this Proxima stage with my raid level with a CTP of Rage. So he can definitely do, with Strikers, he can definitely do stage 50 right now, but I don't know if he can do it without Strikers. Strikers actually do add a lot to Wolverine's capability. Maybe with another minute or two we can get all the way there. We're not going to die, which is the good part, but we're also putting up some pretty sad... We're at Captain America's speed right now, and we still got another like 6 bars to go, which means this is probably going to take... He would run out of time, actually. I think it would take possibly another 2 minutes to get down to 5 bars, which is tragic. This is really slow, but he can do it. It's just a grind fest, but it's a lot better with Strikers. As I said, he can actually clear stage 50 with a full with a full 5 Strikers. The ones that I use are Scarlet Witch, Invisible Woman, Deadpool, tier 3 Mr. Fantastic, and tier 3 Sharon Rogers. So there's a lot of tier 3s, a lot of heavy hitters there, but that is a team that does get it done. It's a very close clear with Wolverine. It's not fast by any means, but it is doable, and there's the accumulation helping his 5th skill do a little bit more damage. But this is kind of, yeah, this is defensive. He doesn't have a CTP of energy. I wasn't going to unequip it just for this test. I think with a CTP of energy, Wolverine would be probably around where Captain America is, maybe slightly ahead of him, but not very much, and definitely not able to compete and keep up with Mr. Fantastic, because he's, extremely fast. Finally, I do want to point out as well, just really quickly, I know he's not a combat type, but Deadpool, a lot of people think, for the same reason as Wolverine, I've got a CTP of regen on Deadpool, so, he can't really do much content anymore, Cynicalex. He needs a damage proc. Well, this is really the power, and I'm going to synergize a bit with the video from yesterday. The all defense down, man, it's huge, and if Deadpool didn't have the all defense down, it would be bananas. But this is Deadpool with a CTP of regen, same as Wolverine. He's got, a mythic uniform, same as Wolverine. And his damage is pretty good with the 4th skill there. Cool. It's still a little bit higher than Wolverine's damage. But then we start mixing in the all defense down, and you can see that the damage actually starts to be pretty respectable for a stage 45 clear. And, he doesn't mess around. That all defense down stacks and stacks and stacks, and you start to do some really, really, really nice damage. And it's actually kind of sad that more characters, not sad, but, it would be nice if more characters could take advantage of this. But look at this damage. This looks like Mr. Fantastic damage, and this is all from the all defense down, because he doesn't have a damage proc. So I couldn't really illustrate this as well with... with Wolverine because he doesn't have the all defense down, and Deadpool does, but it really makes a huge difference. Like, it's the #1 skill for pushing World Boss Ultimate. And you can see here I stacked them again, and this is just damage is just insane. Even with no proc, I would have been done by now. I would have easily cleared this stage in under a minute if I had a proc. It's insane. And I think for Deadpool, the results that I've seen are that in general, a CTP of energy is still very, very good. So I don't think you need to get a CTP of rage for this kind of thing to work for you. But like, this is, yeah, he did it almost as fast. We're at 3:33. He was about 15 seconds, 16 seconds behind Mr. Fantastic with a CTP of energy. So that is the kind of insane value and insane power of all defense down. So any characters you have with all defense down, strikers even with all defense down, it makes a huge difference. There's like a hair on my nose or something, this bacon hair. It makes a huge difference. And even if you really want to build your characters for PvP, you really want to build them for Alliance Conquest, Timeline Battle, you can still definitely get away with, you know, really nice World Boss Ultimate clears. Of course, depending on your raid level, I have a very high raid level, I have good cards. That matters too, but you can just scale it back. Instead of doing 45, you can still do 40 or 30, even with a fully defensive build. With no damage proc. So I wanted to illustrate that. I wanted to make it very clear that Captain America does not stand alongside Mr. Fantastic as well, because we had quite a few people saying, you know, the GBR clear was not very indicative, but there it is. There you have it. We've also got the CTP of regen work in PvE, and it can work. I just need some strikers for Wolverine to make it work for that all defense down that Deadpool otherwise has for himself. So let me know what you guys think. Let me know what you think of the synergies for these characters and their strikers in World Boss Ultimate, specifically for the all defense down. Subscribe if you enjoy the content and you want to support me. And of course, if you like what you see, I hope to see you again tomorrow. Take care.